It'll be Loxxulus. That's my name. So my nickname for the past almost 20 years has been Locke, Locke, and I ran into this problem when I would try playing MMOs, any online game. The name Locke was always taken, and so I combined my nickname with one of my favorite raid bosses from EverQuest, Loxxulus. So I combined my nickname Locke and Loxxulus and made Loxxulus. So that's going to be my character name. Yeah, I mean, ever since day one, I knew I would play an ogre dire lord, and I watched your video. Someone else said, "Oh, I'm going to play an ogre dire lord," and I'm like, "No, I want to be the only one." No, not really, but yeah. So ogre dire lord, because in EverQuest I had a troll Shadow Knight, and that's kind of the closest thing that there is. So ogre dire lord, I like their utility. And I love tanking, and as a tank, I like to be really big and ugly. Like in EverQuest, I played a troll. Elder Scrolls, I had an orc. So I'm really looking forward to the ogre. And I like tanking, and I feel like the Shadow Knight types, the Dire Lord, or even Paladin, they don't rely primarily on a lot of HP, a lot of AC, like a warrior might. I feel like a Dire Lord might have that extra layer, the extra component to find a way to mitigate damage in a non-traditional way. So I love anything with a life tap, a life steal. I'm totally into that. So I'm looking forward to the Ogre Dire Lord. Yeah, I heard about it about 6.5 years ago. This was in April 2014. I was following a YouTuber named Boogie2988, and he was a popular YouTuber. He was covering a lot of things about the gaming industry, and he was covering EverQuest Next. And one day he said, "Oh yeah, I have an interview with Brad McQuaid." And I'm just like, wait a minute, Brad McQuaid, that's the guy who made EverQuest, right? Like, the name rung a bell. And so I watched the video, and he had a full interview with Brad McQuaid, and he was, I'm creating this new MMORPG called Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. And he had some video clips of what the world would look like. We had placeholder stuff. So I saw it for the first time 6.5 years ago, and I've been patiently waiting that long. Yeah, my favorite MMORPG is a not so well-known game. A lot of people don't know that there was an MMORPG for the PlayStation 2 called EverQuest Online Adventures, and you played. You used an Ethernet cable hooked up to your PS2. You used a controller for your commands, for your abilities, for your movements, and then you had a USB keyboard that plugged into your PS2 just for texting, if you want to chat with others. There was no headset. There was only, you could text. And I played that game for 7 years, probably a little over 7 years. All servers were shut down in 2012. It was the end of the world for me. No, it was time to be done. I mean, I loved it. And what did I like about it? Well, my favorite things that I'm also looking forward to this in Pantheon. My favorite things were group up and grind with other players who have unique skills and abilities other than mine. So, the quaternity, or however you want to say it. Tank, healer, DPS. But in that game, instead of crowd control, it was mana battery. So the Enchanter and Bard were actually mana battery more than they were crowd control. But yeah, I loved auction housing in that game. And I loved being part of a guild and doing anything that I could to help advance the guild. Warriors were the best tanks. I mean, they had the highest HP, AC. In the other EverQuest games, that's probably true. highest HVAC resistances, and so they would tank all the big raid bosses, and then me and my Shadow Knight, I would be a backup, except for this one raid mob, Khazak-Thul, who had this death touch. And so when you spawn Khazak-Thul, the Shadow Knight goes first, gets aggro, and gets his debuffs off, and then it could be in 1 second, it could be in 1 minute, or longer, but Khazak-Thul would just zap you dead, death touch, and then the next tank picks up the aggro and then could be death touched, and then the warrior hopefully would be able to tank the rest of the way, and then you would kill him and win. But and we use that method for several months, or maybe even longer than several months, maybe like over a year, something like that. And one day I was up first tanking, and one day Khazak-Thul didn't death touch, and I had the first server-wide Shadow Knight full main tank of Khazak-Thul, and it was freaking awesome. And then my guild was like, wait a minute, a Shadow Knight just tanked Khazak-Thul, and then the death touch just didn't go off. And it was really cool. It was really exciting. And he was probably the hardest. He was the hardest raid mob at that time, because it was unpredictable. Because once you get zapped, the next tank has to make sure he has just enough aggro. In this game, you didn't have aggro meters. There was no aggro meters, so you had to just do it all perfectly, but it was a really fun mob. Yes, I am in, actually this month marks me in a guild for 3 years. I'm in Rainborn, and yeah, 3 years, and how it's so strange being in a guild for 3 years for a game that isn't even out yet. Isn't that weird? Yeah, my favorite is a Stream Deck. Actually, I think I can hold it up right here. Yeah, so this is oh, the light's kind of glaring. Elgato Stream Deck. I'm a Twitch streamer. My name is also Loxxulus. I haven't streamed in the past 30 days because 30 days ago I had my firstborn son. So I'm taking some time off. But this Stream Deck, it's just it's like hotkeys. I use it for Twitch streaming to switch scenes if I want to change the camera or do something or have some special effect. But I also use it to open up apps, documents, web pages, other applications. It's really, you just press the button and then boom, and then you can. I feel pretty powerful using it. It's really fun. Yeah, so I'm Loxxulus on Twitter and on Twitch. And like I said, I haven't streamed on Twitch for the past month because I just had a baby boy. And yeah, I'm really active on Twitter, so that's the best way to get a hold of me. Also, Discord on Loxxulus. July 17th, 2022. So we have about, it's July 17th is my birthday, but I think it's going to be about another year and a half. I think, let's see, they're in pre-alpha 5, then they're going to want alpha, and then they're going to want beta, and, you know, the Visionary Realms team, they're going to launch this game when it is ready. Not when, you know, enough of the fans is, oh, you know, we want it to come out. They're going to launch it when it's ready, and I think it's going to be another year and a half, something like that. So July 17th, 2022. I created my very first game myself. It's called Chesslock. It's my first time announcing it publicly. It's a strategy game that uses the base of chess, but I added RPG elements, so your chess pieces get experience points, level ups, they have new abilities, you have upgrades for those abilities in a special skill tree, and I just launched the website today, and you can check it out at chesslock.com. That's chess and then LOCKE.com. and hopefully it'll be available by the end of this year. That's the goal.